this. Let's get some more people coming in. We're going to be talking about getting motivated. We're going to get going here as soon as we can. All right, guys, we got a couple of people in here. Say what's up, comment. So happy that you guys have come on.
Is it working?
I believe so, my man. Yes. So I think we're live at the moment. You got your Facebook up right now?
Yep, I got it up, man. Everything looks good, man.
Awesome, man. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to get going, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. I want you guys to comment and share tonight. We're going to be talking about life's snooze button and some things that you can do in your life to remove these obstacles, if you will, from accomplishing your goals. So anyways, my name is Stephen Odell. I'm your friend in finance. And tonight I have a very special person here with me. Some people call him a devil dog. Some people call him a coworker. There's two little individuals that happen to call him dad, but I call him brother. And so Michael is here with me. He's my older brother. And for years and years and years, Michael and I have had discussions about how to get up and get motivated, how to stop hitting the snooze button on our life. And we've talked about it over and over, and it's worked. Right? It's worked so well for us and the things that we wanted to accomplish that we thought, hey, you know what? Let's just start pumping this information out to as many people as possible. So Michael, without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself and tonight's topic?
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. So yeah, I'm excited about the call. I'm excited to try and get this information out just to as many people as possible, because it's just crucial, right? We go through moments in life where we feel like we're lacking the motivation or lacking the determination or even the goal setting mentality to get things going. And it's like, and I struggled with that for a long time. And over the last few years, right, I've been doing some personal development growth. I've been growing, I've been learning, I've been reading. And that's one thing that has just been so true is like, why do I and why do other people just continue to snooze on their life, right? We all know what it is, man. It's you wake up in the morning, 5 minutes, nope, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Like,
yeah,
why? You're not even
Absolutely.
sleeping. You're not even sleeping for that time. You're just nodding off and coming back, and it's a waste. And we do that in life. So that's why, man, just to get this out there as best as we can, you know?
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. There's going to be so much more content that we're going to be bringing to you guys. We have a whole series of information that's going to be coming to you guys. And so we're really, really excited to do this. And we want you guys to participate. We want you guys to join in, obviously. We want to know some areas of your life that you have been hitting the snooze button on. Maybe it's a project. Maybe it's something to do with your work. Maybe it's something to do with your family. We want to know the areas where you've been hitting that snooze button, right? We want to know, because we can talk about it. We can have a discussion. We can help you find solutions, because we've been doing this for a long time as well. We became aware many years ago that we were hitting this button. Michael, when was it when you realized you were slapping that button on your life?
It's a funny story for those of you that don't know. So it happened to me when I was in prison. When I was in prison, I realized that I was hitting snooze on my life, not only because I was there, right? But also while I was there, there's not much that you can do, but there's very few things that you can do to keep your mind occupied and to keep yourself on that right track. And if you're only given 3 things and you refuse to do all 3 of those things, then what are you really doing? Right? So you take what you got and you take action and you run with it. And ever since then, I've tried to have that mentality, but when I got out, it hit me again, right? Ooh, freedom. Now there's not 3 things. Now there's 500 things. And so which one takes priority? Which one, right? Like getting up in the morning and giving myself affirmations. Well, I'll snooze that because I want to check my emails, right? So like what am I doing?
Yeah, man, I agree. It's really difficult to become aware of what you're even lacking, right? And the main way that I was able to become more aware of the areas that I was lacking in was from building a solid support system around me, right? I found the right people. I got connected with those individuals that were going to be able to help hold me accountable on the things that I said I was going to do, right? So alone, we can only accomplish so much, but together, it's endless, right? There's no stopping us once we all continuously come together and focus on those areas where we're lacking and where we're not hitting the goals that we've set forth, where we're not accomplishing the things that we need to accomplish. Alone is hard, man. It's so hard. And, whenever you and I started having these types of conversations many years ago, it's helped me tremendously. And I've just continued to try to have that in my life, helping as many people as possible. So I'm super excited about this topic. I'm super excited about what we're going to be talking about. I hope you guys like, comment, and share, no matter where you're listening from, whether it's Facebook, our podcast on Recovery Live. We just want you guys to get motivated, and we want you to stop hitting the snooze button on your life. So what's next on this idea that you have with what we're going to do to help these people out?
So with, staying on topic, like what's next, right? So you hit on a couple of things. One was accountability, right? The other was being aware. So like a couple points to hitting that snooze button is first to be aware of what you're doing, right? You can't fix something or move past something if you're not aware of it even happening, right? So just being aware, like, okay, you know what, today, like I've really slacked off and I should have done more today. Well, why didn't you? Like, where did you hit that button, and like, where did things turn south? So just being aware of what's going on. And the other thing is, you mentioned the accountability. It's easy to set goals in your head and keep them upstairs. And when they stay up here, they don't go anywhere. They stay here. But when you say something to your friend, or you say something to your loved one, like, you know what, like, you don't be embarrassed that you have this idea. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. That doesn't matter, right? Don't be embarrassed that you have this idea and you have this fear of failure. So you refuse to mention it and you refuse to talk about it because there's a fear of failure. And when you have that fear of failure, you suppress your gifts. You suppress what's really going on inside of you that could turn into something great. So when you have accountability, it could be something as simple as being like, hey, Steven, I want to start doing a YouTube channel and pumping out positive information to people. I talked about it for years, but when we talked about it, we took action. So that's the other thing, being aware, being accountable, and taking action. And like, that's when you can start to gain traction in your life, in any area. It could be, with sleep, the snooze button, or it could be, it's obviously deeper than that. Finances. Why are you not saving? Why are you not, why are you late to work all the time? Like, why is your personal life lacking? Why is your professional life lacking? Like, because we're not bad people, right? So where's the disconnect? Like, we all have a purpose and a gift. So where's that disconnect? It's just being aware of what's going on around you and within you is the first step, right, to overcoming this lack of motivation or dedication or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, for me, with sometimes I have to slow way down, because like it's almost this weird situation where you think you're not accomplishing a lot and you start maybe thinking of yourself as being lazy, but you're not lazy. You're doing all kinds of things all the time. It's about, you're not focusing in the right areas with your time, right? And so a lot of people have a lot of self-doubt, or they have these very negative thoughts, like, I'm lazy, or I'm this, or who cares, I tried once before, right? And so there's a lot of internal struggles that happen when you're trying to get up and go, when you're trying to turn off that snooze button. There's a lot of internal struggles like fear, anxiety, and things that can take over your life when you're trying to accomplish those goals. And so the way that I become aware is the first thing I try to do is I pray, you know this, obviously, that we pray, and I try to ask for guidance and I try to ask for help, right? Not specific answers, things like that, but I try to ask for peace and calmness. And usually it's in those moments when I become very still that all the information I need floods into my head, and I just start writing it down. I just start writing it down, exactly what I need to do. It just comes, right? It's because when we quiet all the noise out, we can finally start to hear. And anybody can do this, right? Find some time throughout the day. I mean, you're not going to stop hitting this snooze button without massive effort and action, right? This isn't just going to happen. Okay. Although there's some tools and some things that we're going to be bringing to you guys to help, it's going to take a lot of action on y'all's parts as well, and us too, to continue this process, because no one's perfect. We're going to keep going up and down, right? But if you're aware of the areas that you're struggling in and you have the appropriate support system around you, you're going to continuously have to be in a position to grow. You're not going to be able to snooze for too long. If I snooze for too long, Michael's going to hit me up and say, hey man, you're supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z, and I haven't seen you doing it, right? And I'm going to do the same thing to him and to my wife, and she does the same thing to me. And this is a process, a continuous process of growth and opportunities. But I love what you said about first becoming aware of what's going on. And the way that I do that is to be still and to listen to my surroundings and to listen to my loved ones and ask them questions about what they have going on. You know, for you, I know that it can be really hard to be still because you're a single dad, right? You got 2 kids right now, literally coming in trying to ask you some questions. And so it's like, there's always this moment in our lives where we're like, okay, something's got to give, right? Like something has got to give. And it's in those moments of being backed into a corner of desperation when we finally decide to change. We don't have to let it get that bad. You can start changing right now, right? And that's what we're here to talk about. You don't have to be in a position to where something bad happens to where now you need to make some change in your life. Let's stop doing that. Let's all stop doing that. Get together now, create goals, create accountability, and start knocking them out. What else is in your mind when you think about this topic?
So this topic, man, it can go anywhere in life, for any walk of life. Like, again, we're not talking about any specific demographic or people or anything like that. Like, I think most people know your story. A lot of people know mine. I'm in recovery, right? In fact, I'm coming up on 5 years on the 31st of this month. And it's just amazing how I've gotten there. But even in relation to recovery, like where are people, men and women in recovery, hitting the snooze button, right? Like what happens when you start to get stressed out or you get anxious, right? And you know what you're supposed to be doing, and yet you put it off. You put it off knowing the potential outcome of that could be disastrous. And yet you still do it. That guilty as charged, guilty. And so just even in relation to that, like at what point do you become aware that you're putting off a very important step in your recovery and then to take action into that step, right? And I think it ties in again, there's a huge fear of failure within different all communities, right? Like the whole world, right? Everybody struggles with fear of rejection, fear of failure. It's in recovery. It's not in recovery. It's just a huge fear of failure. And so like within recovery, you have to be aware of that. And again, it goes back to awareness. It just goes back to being aware. And once I started to talk about this to myself, like, where am I hitting the snooze button? Where am I putting off my goals? Why am I telling myself I can do that tomorrow? Like, why am I telling myself that? I'm literally sitting on the couch saying to myself, I can do that tomorrow. And I'm accomplishing nothing on the couch. Why? And ever since I started running this and being more aware that I was doing this to myself, it caused me to just react and like, no, I have to take action in my life. I'm never going to make it to wherever my God-given potential has me going, if I continue to say things like that to myself, I can do it tomorrow. No, get up and go. Get up and do it today. Do it right now. Like, what are you waiting for? If you fail, guess what? You learn something good. Focus somewhere else, or focus a different area, right?
Yeah.
Failure is not bad if you capitalize on your failure. Failure only sucks when you quit, right? If you fail at something and then you quit, that sucks. But when you fail at something and take action to remedy that failure, it's no longer a failure. It's a life lesson. It's a learning lesson. Like, people don't have to go to prison to hear how bad that sucks. I can tell them all about it.
Yeah.
Right. People don't have to hear about how bad relapse sucks. I can tell you about that too. Right. Or I can tell you about how good life can be in recovery. Or I can tell you about how good life can be when you quit pushing that snooze button. So it's also about learning from other people, right? Like, being open-minded to hearing what other people have to say has been huge, because I'll admit, for a long time, and I was a very closed-minded person. I didn't want to hear it from anybody. You know that. You tried talking to me. You've been in this longer than me. I didn't hear nothing you had to say.
I remember, man. I remember it was tough, and I think sometimes when we have that kind of fear and we're experiencing that kind of anxiety, that's what really defeats a lot of people, right? Some people have so much stuff on their plate, they have so much to do, and they're just exhausted. They're so tired. They have their families, they have their job, they have their, the practices and the school things they have to do, and then they're like, oh my God, I don't have time, right? And when you take a step back and think about, if you focus your time in other areas, right, and allowed other people in your life to help you for a certain period of time, it's going to get better, right? Like, it's going to increase. You're going to start making moves in your life that ease things on you. It's going to ease the stress. It's going to ease the anxiety. Reaching out to other people and consistently asking for help has been a huge deal for me in my personal life, my professional life, in my relationships, because I'm only one person, right? And I only have my life experience, which is very limited, right? I've been around a little while, but I'm only 30 years old, right? There's only so much things that I can do. When I bounce ideas off of other younger people that have a different upbringing than me, older people that have more experience than me, any walk of life that I can find, I want to absorb as much information as I possibly can from those individuals and see if I can internalize it and use it to motivate me in a positive way, right? Reading all the books that we've read, talking to the people that we've talked to, going to school was a huge thing for me. I learned a lot there about myself. I learned a lot about how to be more social. I learned a lot how to integrate myself into a community more, right? That was a big experience. I mean, obviously I got a degree. That's cool. That's the point. But it's everything else that I learned while I was there, by leaning on others about not hitting the snooze button and avoiding the pitfalls of staying stagnant, right? That's the problem. And if you feel in your life that you're stagnant right now, let us know why. Comment right now, right? Share this video. I want to know why you feel stagnant and how me and my brother can help, because we're going to be bringing the heat and we're going to be bringing this content to you guys constantly. And we want to know how we can help and how we can ease up some of your stress and your anxiety related to the snooze button that you might be hitting. Once again, this snooze button could be with your work, starting a business. It could be with a simple house project that would make your life easier if you would just get up and do it, right? All these little things can add up to a better lifestyle for you and your family. And that's what we all want, right? We want to have a better, healthier lifestyle, whether it's working out, eating right. Maybe it is, maybe someone is listening that needs to try to begin their journey in recovery. We're talking to you too, right? Although this isn't necessarily geared to people only in recovery, we want anybody to come on here and have a safe place to talk about where this area is that you're lacking in your life and how we can help each other out. Yeah. What else runs through your mind when you've consistently been slapping that snooze button?
So I'm glad you asked, man. The other thing, kind of to flip the script a little bit, is what it does to you mentally, right? Like what we all know, that there's muscle memory, right? I learned it in the Marine Corps, in boot camp, muscle memory. I joined in 2006, and I will never forget that your finger is straightened off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Anytime I took a Nerf gun, my finger is muscle memory, right? And so when you're hitting the snooze button on different areas of your life constantly, what does that do to you mentally? That creates a muscle memory that it's okay to do so. And you will start to do that subconsciously. And when you're hitting the snooze button subconsciously, you may lose complete awareness of what you're doing and how you're hindering your progress forward, right? You hit snooze enough, it becomes a habit, right? It doesn't take a long time to form a habit. It takes even longer to break a habit. I think to break it was like 28 days or something, and to form it was maybe 14. I don't know. Don't fact check those numbers. But
who knows? Who
right?
knows?
It's
And
something
it could
like
be different for other people as well, right? Like
Right.
some people, it might take way longer because they've been doing it for a long time. Some people might be able to snap out of that quickly. But the point is, you can snap out of it.
Yes, you can snap out of it, and it's detrimental. It's detrimental, but again, it goes back to that awareness. How do you snap out of it? First, you got to be aware that you're doing it, right? You have to be aware that you're doing it. And I had a question too. I thought about, like, so when I'm School of Hard Knocks. I didn't do college. School of Hard Knocks. What for you? What areas when you were a student were the hardest to again, just hit that snooze button, right? When you were a student? I know that's a different area I'm not familiar with.
It was so easy to procrastinate when it came to completing homework or assignments, and I would always put other things first. And this was when I was at South Plains College. Okay, now I hadn't been in school in years. Okay, so I had to relearn how to learn, if that makes sense, right? I didn't know how to study anymore. I could barely read a page in a book and comprehend it, right? And I underestimated the type of work that I was going to have to put in to be successful in school. And the snooze button that I was hitting for a long time until I started getting my grades back was the procrastination. Literally, I can knock that out later. Work comes first. I'm an adult now. Blah blah blah. This and that. This should be fine. And then when I really started seeing the amount of effort that was going to have to be put in, I woke up quick and I stopped. I started getting way ahead of assignment. I would start knocking stuff out early, because I didn't like the fear and the anxiety that I was filled with. And I thought, okay, if school is causing all this fear and anxiety, how do I get ahead of it? Well, clearly it's happening because I keep trying to do these assignments last minute, right? And that's what's really producing this anxiety. And so I started getting ahead of things. I started asking my professors for study tips. I started asking my fellow students what they're doing to be successful. I'm not kidding. I was like 22, dude, having to ask an 18-year-old freshman at a community college like what he's doing to study better. But I did it. And I overcame that fear, and I started letting other people into my life. And I became a very good student. I'm happy with what I did there. Graduated magna cum laude. I ended up getting a master's degree from Tech because I asked for help. And then when someone said, try this, I tried it. Sometimes it didn't work. I was like, I don't know why that guy suggested that. It doesn't work for me. I don't know how it works for him. But I continued to find those solutions because not everything worked for me, right? But eventually I found something that did. I stuck with it, and I became a good student. And that was a big deal for me. So procrastination was the biggest snooze button that I was hitting in school.
Yeah, man, I think that's a big one. It's a big one all the way across the board, but I would imagine definitely on the education side. I know I know that I would have snoozed my way right out of college.
It's tough.
Snooze my way now that I have a different mindset, right? I'm sure I would do phenomenal, I'm sure I'd be super successful in whatever endeavors that I had on that side of the playing field. But even in personal life, man, procrastination, it goes back to just, right? Why not do it now? Like, why? And, I got a busy life, man. For everybody that doesn't know, right? I got 2 little kids. I got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I work full time at Warriors Heart, and the place is amazing. And so in the morning, I live 5 minutes from work, and I spend an hour in the car because I have to pass work up to go to daycare, and then pass work up again to go to school, and then get to work, right? And then at the end of the day, I do the same thing: leave work, daycare, pass at work, school, and somehow I fail in a lot of areas, or not fail, but I miss in a lot of areas, but I'm still able to get my work done. I'm still able to find time to grow myself, whether it's Bible studies, personal development studies, CrossFit, fitness, right? And cook dinner. So it's possible. But so 3 years ago, if you were to tell me that in 3 years, this is the things that I would be doing and how busy I would be, I would laugh. I would tell you it's not going to happen. And there's no way that a single person can get through all that stuff in a day.
Yeah, dude, talk about a glow up. All right. I mean, dude, seeing you and what you've done in the last few years is just absolutely incredible. Coming from the situation that you were in to where you're at now is just mind blowing. I mean, truthfully, it took so much discipline and so much raw, just effort to get where you're at, and you never stopped. And now, not only are you not stopping trying to improve yourself, you're just helping as many people as you can on a daily basis, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't thank you enough for talking me into doing this series, right? To try to help as many people as possible, and to just push out some positive vibes, man, because life is tough right now, right? Yeah. Texas just went through the worst snowstorm in 100 years. The pandemic's around. Dude, life is tough, man. And it takes tough people to help others when they're down, because when I was down, tough people helped me. Yeah. And I can't thank those people enough, right? I'm coming up on 12 years sober because somebody told me I could. So I did. Yep. Right? It was literally that simple. They said, yeah, you can do this. I was like, thank you, man. I don't believe in myself much right now. So thank you. Right. And they were right. I had all these tools. I had support. I had to take massive action and put a lot of effort in on a daily basis. Right. But it started with somebody else helping me. And, whether you're listening in or viewing this or whatever, thank you so much. We want to have thoughtful, authentic conversations about areas that I'm hitting the snooze button, that Michael's hitting the snooze button, that you're hitting the snooze button. We want to put this to an end, and we want to help everybody grow in the best way possible. And so we're going to be bringing some amazing content to you guys constantly. We're going to bring a lot of questions, a lot of Q&As. So please like, comment, and share this video so other people can see what all of us are going to do together. And I just can't thank you enough again for bringing this idea, and now we're making it happen, right? It's so cool.
Making it happen, man. I like what you said about it took tough people to help me when I was down. And it is the same for me, and it is the same for most. And in fact, I'm not going to say all but most people. It takes tough people to help them, man. And thinking that I would ever just be here, man, is just crazy. And then to top it off, now, like, life was, once I got over the snooze button in some areas, life got really busy, like crazy busy. And then it came to a point, and I think I'm in it right now, where I'm coasting. I'm busy, but I'm coasting. Like, my stress levels are down, right? My sanity is there. Like, I'm aware of what's going on. Whereas when I was procrastinating and putting things off, The more things you put off, they just pile up. They just pile up. So grab something and close it, right? Grab something and close it out. If it's not something you want to do, close it out, right? And get rid of that pile so that you can start to focus on things. And when you start to focus on things, you'll start to coast. And it's not, I'm not saying it's a good place to be forever, right? Because you want to continue to grow. But it's a very comfortable place to be when you're doing good, you're doing the right thing, you're staying motivated, you're continuously growing, but the daily stressors are coasting, right? It's not like it was when I first hit it running, right? It was like, whoa, I can't keep this pace up forever. But once I was able to focus my attention more on certain areas and less on areas that didn't need my focus, I began to coast, and it's a comfortable place to be.
It's a good platform. You know what I mean? You want to build a stable platform, because once you're there, you can really start to build what that life is that you're looking for, right? But when it's a mess and it's chaotic and you're spending all this energy in all kinds of places and you're just running yourself into the dirt every night and you're not centering yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, the foundation's never going to get built, right? And so once that foundation is built, I think me and my business partners were at that point in life, like maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. We were just in all directions and it was chaos. And it was like, dude, we need to slow down, center ourselves. And that's what we did. We came together and prayed and centered ourselves about what it is we needed to do and where we really needed to focus our time at. And we've continuously done that over and over and over again. And the results speak for themselves. God just continued to provide every single time we did that. When we get a little stressed out and we get a little, overwhelmed, continuing to take care of ourselves and continuing to build that foundation is incredible. And the results that come from it once it's established is just going to set you up for the rest of your life. And I agree with you. You don't want to stay there, but you do need to build a solid foundation to stand on, right? Then you truly get to build. But without that foundation, everything that you're going to build, it's just going to crumble underneath you.
Yep.
Right. And then you're going to feel exhausted again. And then you're tired again. And now you think this much of yourself. So you're like, who cares? I'm not going to try anymore. And you're stuck in this cycle.
Yep.
Right. If you establish the proper foundation, you will build something incredible. And we want to help you guys do it. We want to be a part of it. We want you to help us do it. I'm a little selfish. I'll be honest with you. I want help. I want to continue to build and grow my life and my friendships and my relationships. And I want you guys to be a part of it just as much as Michael does. So once again, we're going to jump off here soon. Thank you guys so much for those that did tune in live. If you're watching this video afterwards, that's great. Stay on the lookout for some more live notifications because we're going to be bringing content to you as often as we can. We want your feedback as well on some areas that you're hitting life's snooze button. We want to talk about it. Michael, what do you want to leave these people with when it comes to this topic?
Thank you, Stephen. Final words, man. What I want to say, what I want to leave all of y'all with is simple. Take some time, find a quiet place, and become aware of what it is that you want to do. Meditate, pray, journal, whatever it is that you got to do. Find a space, a quiet space where you can become aware of where you want to go. And once you become aware of that, find out what's in your way internally. What are you doing that's self-sabotaging where you want to be? Once you become aware of that, you can start to take steps and take action. But first, man, you just got to become aware. So quit hitting the snooze button on your life. Quit it. Stop. No more snooze. And tune in next time. We're going to be bringing some more content. Maybe jump on and finish this off. Talk about some affirmations, right? Talk about taking action, accountability again, or maybe another topic just to help you and us grow and become better people.
That's what it's all about, man. And thank you so much for having me come on as well. I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to all the great things that are going to come of this and all the people that we're going to come in contact with. I'm really, really excited to bring these live sessions to everybody we possibly can. So thank you so much, man. We're going to sign off now, everybody. Please like, comment, and share. Michael, go ahead and end this, I guess, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, see you.
See you.
Okay. All right, stop recording.